Wow.
Yay.
Sports Personality of the Year. How does it feel?
Yeah, I mean, super exciting. And I think, the exciting thing is that there is more visible out athletes now. Like every year, there are more and more athletes. And that's something that, just last year at the Olympics, there were more out athletes in those games than all of the previous ones combined, which is like a massive and huge progress for what it means to be a queer kid growing up now and feeling like they have a space in sport. So it's very exciting for where the future's goes, but it's also one of those things that we can't get complacent with it either. And it's about making sure that we still keep pushing forward.
I love that. You mentioned that there's still work to do. There's still the good fight to be made. Where do you see LGBT plus inclusion in sports going, and how can we do better?
I think that first and foremost, I think that we need to really force sports governing bodies to really think about inclusion and including all people in that, including trans folk, because it's so important to. For so long, the media has painted trans people in sport to be unfair or unjust, or it makes it too confusing. And actually, no, they have never been given the opportunity to share their side of the story and have their voice. And I think that's where I think it's really important that any athlete that has a public-facing, spotlight is to be able to shine that on the people that don't get the opportunity to speak as often. And I think it's a responsibility of the media in general to make that happen.
And speaking of sports is such a wonderful outlet for people to express themselves, to be fully themselves. How is that for you to come into your own identities and be so affirmative to everyone about it? What was that journey like, and how can we harness that power of self-expression through sports for everyone?
I mean, the world of sport is a really scary place to come out, just because, you never know what your teammates, people in the audience, and, because a sport can be, especially a sport like football, for example, and seeing more people coming out is really special. But for me, the coming out experience enabled me to be able to actually finally focus on what I love to do, and that was my sport. Because for so long you feel weighed down by hiding who you are, worrying about who might think of you in a certain way, and so being able to finally be able to be me and be able to get into the pool and just not have to think about it anymore made such a huge difference when I went into competition, that now going into competitions I know that I have a husband and a son that love me regardless, and it really just changed the perspective on everything for me.
And that sort of visibility representation is hugely powerful. One final question, and as cliche as this is going to be, if there was 12-year-old Tom in front of you, what message, what would you say to them?
Honestly, I would probably just say that there's going to be so many people that will try and tell you to be a certain way and try and get you to act a certain way and think about what other people are going to think. And at the end of the day, don't listen to what anyone else has to say. You do you, and just be unapologetically you the whole time, because that's when you're your best self. Don't listen to what anyone else has to say.
Thank you so much, and huge congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
Have a lovely night.
Thank you. I will.